friends, guardians, countrymen, lend us your ears. We are back after a short weekend down in Austin, which some of us made. Some of us stayed up here, watched the game at home. Some of our watch parties. Got a lot of recap to do. We'll talk a little bit about next week. Then we'll talk briefly about some Trinity stuff. I know we spent a lot of time on that last week, and we'll just cover that ahead of the start of the season this week. And then Marcus has some cool topics to talk about over and around the grounds. We're going to look around the world and see what's going on and what's coming to the States and what to look forward to and how we really feel about that. But let's get started. 1-1 draw in Austin.
Yeah. Did you both go to the game?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if Mark.
I didn't even see you there, so.
I traveled with the supporters once, and they have this stupid rule that you can't leave while the rest of the it's stupid.
I just left. I just got up and left. ISC, check out my away report because there's some details in there that were not great, but we won't cover that here.
Ooh, can't wait to hear that.
But basically it is. I almost got in a fight with security one day, so I decided I don't sit with the supporters anymore. So,
well, we were having a great time up top. I will say it was loud. It was proud. When we did get the goal, the beer and the water was flying, and it was a lot of fun. You can actually catch us on television, Apple TV on the recording. You can actually see the section when we scored. A lot of fun up there.
A lot of the throwback jersey.
Yes, a lot of throwback jerseys I saw in the stadium, in and around town. That Burn jersey is really getting around.
Yeah.
People really seem to like that Burn gear. Mine still has not arrived. I have a delivery date of tomorrow.
Jeez, that's incredible.
Yeah.
We'll see. The throwbacks work. Who knew that the Burn had value? That's crazy, right? Who would have told the Hunts that?
Who knew that we missed the hoops on top of everything?
That's funny.
Incredible.
This game, I think this game just points out that A, we still own Austin, and B, the no instruments policy still doesn't work. We're just better than you are. As long as you understand that, we'll be good to go.
I will say though, it was cool. Like as much as I love having the instruments and having the noise and having especially the horns and drums and everything else getting really loud. It was fun to just have these like organic chants going off. Right, we were just like reacting to the game and just having this sort of organic thing. Every time Collodi got a stop or anything that was even remotely a stop or a pass ball or something, we had a Michael Collodi, and the Collodis were actually just sitting a couple sections away from us, so they had stopped by the section as well. So seeing them and getting involved with them and seeing them react to us reacting was a lot of fun. Like it was just a great vibe up there, right? We were just having a great time.
There's something about being in the trenches together, and like the Collodis coming out is cool. Paxton hanging out at the Houston game to open the season, that's nice.
Right. Yeah. It was just a cool time up there. And, we got, like I said, some organic chants going. We got half the stadium into a Fire Nico chant at one point.
Incredible. The great unifier.
The great unifier.
Turns out we all hate soccer terrorism. Who knew?
It turns out we all hate someone. We all hate a coach named Nico at any level of sport, right? Like coaches named Nico are just not great. So,
yeah.
But a lot of fun there. A lot of fun up top. But Shaq more giveth and Shaq more taketh away.
Yeah,
pretty much. I do want to say to Collodi, I don't know why he thinks he's in a Karate Kid movie.
That's the Collodi kid. How you doing?
Yeah, the headband needs to go. That's ridiculous.
Well, for those who don't know, he is wearing it because he has a gash on his head.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, why does he have the Mr. Miyagi? Like, we're Catholic.
Although I do think at this point he's got to debate if it's part of his brand now or not.
No,
a lot of people like it.
It is.
It is 100% part of the brand. We
could do a Toha wig night, but it'd be like Collodi headband night or something. I think Pete was pitching that on Third Degree or something.
I need him to keep the headband on and just hit the crane kick one time. I need the Karate Kid crane kick one time. Sweep the leg. We'll bring back sweep the leg.
It's been a heck of a season for your team when you're talking about the goalie's headband.
The backup goalie's headband, mind you.
Yeah, it's one of them things where it's like, it's like when AI wore the sleeve the one time, and then after that, it was just a thing. Yeah, Allen Iverson without the sleeve. That's what it is. Shaq Moore. I was never high on that kid, and kid, he's a veteran.
I was gonna say it's like the same age as we are, dude.
Yeah, which is sad when you look at them and us, right? Yeah, good goal. And then, I mean, seeing it live in the stadium, it doesn't actually look nearly as bad as it does on the replay, but
Oh, really?
it's not great. It's one of them things where, like, you know, we it's a rebuild year, and even with all the kids we're bringing in, it's not solving the problem. We need center backs. We need like outside. It's frustrating every
we
game.
know the answer.
Yeah, it's every game. It's the same issue. It's just a different one.
Right. Yeah, which one's killing you tonight?
Yeah. That being said, my point always goes, a rule is a rule. A road point is always a good thing. Even if
I agree with you. I keep trying to talk people off the ledge on that. Yeah.
Even when it means you have to hand over Copa Tejas to Houston.
Yeah, I mean,
which was that was probably the most disappointing thing because I had that trophy everywhere this weekend. I was all over town with Copa Tejas. I was over at the state capitol with it. I was outside of UT with it. I almost took it on the boat.
Your girl, huh?
They did. They stole my girl this weekend. I was very upset. Shout out to Steve and the crew over at Copa Tejas, though. We met up with them and had a good time with them. But I almost took it out on the boat Saturday. I was out on Lake Austin for a little while. Almost took the Copa out on the boat just to have fun with it. But I didn't want to risk it falling off and then there being a whole thing about it. Like we can't turn it. We lost. We can't turn it over to Houston because the trophy's actually missing.
We can't be the group that dropped the trophy like Brimstone Cup. We can't be the group that messed up the cannon. Like, please don't make that us.
I mean, why not? That's.
I will say, I'm sure some of our.
You know what? I don't know why, but that's all Marcus had to say for me to go. Yeah, let's go.
I mean, here's the thing: if for all the hockey fans out there, if y'all hear about all the things that happened to Stanley Cup, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
but those guys make $7 million a year, so
fair enough. But yeah, what do you guys' thoughts? I mean, it was a good weekend. I was down there. I left Friday, got stuck in traffic. Fucking 35.
Dude, I was down Thursday night and it took forever. It was the fucking drive down was miserable. I went down Thursday night. Unfortunately, I had to leave after work, so it was 5:00 in Dallas when I left, and it took me an hour to get to. It took me over an hour to get to DeSoto.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy for all the non-Texans. Like I-35 is a parking lot, especially going through the Texas Capitol.
And coming home wasn't any better.
Yeah, so. Georgetown is where I got stuck, right north of Round Rock. It was an absolute parking lot.
Going down or coming home?
Both, for some reason, because they narrowed it. It's 2 lanes, but they wall it in, which means that people don't pay attention. They hit the wall. One accident means you're stuck there for an hour.
Yeah, absolutely.
That being said, the Broccoli Bowl or the Mini Bowl, it's.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it the second derby.
Is that what it is? The second derby?
No, I'm just trying to devalue it.
Yeah. It's the.
I'm just trying to cope. Leave me alone.
It's the stephead. It's the red-headed stepchild.
No, I like Stephead. Stephead sounds like someone's like about to crunch my skull.
I'll be honest with you. As bad as 35 was, we might need to steal El Trafico from LA.
That's a fact. the 35 derby and the 45 derby.
We go. The I-30, the battle for I-35, like a college football trophy.
Well, let's get into personnel decisions on this, though. Bernie on the left again,
which to me was just an open invitation for Nico to attack because he knows, right? But that being said, I think Bernie actually had a decent game back at that position. I don't think he's terrible for a guy who's not a wingback. I think Bernie at wingback is actually not bad.
It might be a reps thing. Maybe he's the reps. I don't know.
I think he's getting a little bit better there.
Yeah, I think he's improved. Granted, the sample size is still tiny, so I can't commit. But at the same time, it's like, well, I'm sure, Marcus will say it, this fascination of converting these left wingers.
Oh, we in FT Dallas history, we've never bought a player and played them where they're supposed to play.
Right, like especially not if you're a wing or an outside back.
Yeah, it's like you're athletic. Yeah, we're gonna move you. Yeah.
We love a flying winger. Let's go.
Oh no, I want to say my condolences and goodbye to Siki. I don't think you see the starting lineup again ever.
Yeah,
and I'll miss you.
Yeah, I don't think he makes the 18 again at this rate. Although with the way bodies are going down, go ahead, finish your thought there. But
with the way Romero's playing, I'm like he can't be any worse. It's just I'm looking, to be honest, I'm watching these games now with an eye to next season.
You got to, right?
I'm looking at all the guys who I know won't be here next year and the guys we can build on. I mean, we'll get into that when it gets closer. Okay. But I think we know, right? Romero, not so much. Because I think
what's his contract on? Is he on just a 1 year?
I think he's on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. You buy him out, send him on his way. Yeah, it's one of them things where like Kaique, I think as long as we just keep playing him, I think we get a full off season, and the next season I think he's ready. We still need 2 center backs, even with Alvaro, because
at least one starter.
What do y'all think of Kappas as an 8-6? I don't know what they were doing there. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, I
was confused.
I actually liked him, although I don't think he had any like spark or anything. I think he just kind of quietly did his job, and I was pretty comfortable with that. I got to thinking about comparing him to Kaique, especially when Kaique came in later and like killed a guy in the 96th minute.
He had
I was like, yeah, I don't think Kappas does that.
Yeah, Kappas had, I think, some good advance movement, and I feel like Kappas and Leggett are sort of like, I don't know, almost at the same level. So, Leggett's a little bit better, but I think like Kappas is the guy when Leggett needs rest. He's the guy, right?
Yeah, I also think Leggett's more progressive.
But and maybe you guys know the answer to this. I'm not sure, but have we started the same midfield more than once at all this season?
I mean, part of that's injury, so I won't put that on any particular decision. But no, I don't think we actually have.
Our lineup has been crazy rotated. I mean, beyond just looking at who's been starting, our formations have been all over the place. At least for the first 2/3 of the season, they were. You're trying to fit Lucho in, and you're trying to figure all that stuff out.
We don't talk about Lucho.
We do talk about Lucho.
We don't talk about Lucho.
Well,
that never happened. That never happened.
We haven't had
Men in Black
game plan though, man.
Men in Black device there. We're gonna just wipe.
Yeah, I don't remember what that's called.
Yeah. We're gonna the neuralizer. We're gonna neuralize Lucho Acosta from your memory.
If only that's true. FC Dallas, great. We had a former
FC Dallas legend, Lucho Acosta.
Yeah. He's the closest thing we're gonna get to a player MVP. Although I did notice a thing. The leading goal scorer for MLS is 18, and Musa is at 13.
Musa's not far.
I'm like, damn, if he hadn't gotten injured, he'd be in the mix.
You start thinking about Musa, and you're like, damn. That dude's MVP in another team.
Oh, facts. Absolutely. What? You put him on a team with like a decent team.
Yeah.
He's bagging in 20 at this point.
Yeah. I feel so bad.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Dennis?
Sorry. So Musa came off early, came off at the half. With and Garrett Meltzer reported that it was tightness in his hamstring. I really do hope the hamstring bug has not caught up to Musa again. I don't know what else to say here. We've got Paz out with a hamstring injury now. This hamstring bug has just been ridiculous this season. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're overtraining. I don't know if they're cramping. I don't know if they're not hydrating properly.
It's probably the heat, man.
Are they drinking these shitty Advocare hydration packs? Is that what they're doing?
Hey, I will live and die by Advocare Spark.
Let's just be completely honest. They put body armor in the Advocare bottle and they keep it.
Yeah,
moving.
Right.
Let's talk about these stats.
We're not drinking Moss Plus out here.
No.
Just one more thing, if you don't mind, on Musa.
Go ahead.
My best guess is that you're looking at heat issues more than anything. But Musa was sick last week, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that his body's not functioning perfectly a week later.
Yeah, he might just be cramping up.
Maybe I'm coping and hoping. I don't know.
I will say the heat and humidity down there were miserable, and inside that stadium was absolutely
that stadium does not cool down.
Hold on. Disgusting.
Let's hold the heat conversation. We're going to bring that up when we talk about KC Currents.
Oh,
that situation. So we'll talk about heat and sports, and maybe the decision to switch to a fall spring is a good idea. But for right now, let's just cover this game. So we're gonna go through some stats right quick, just run down.
Please.
So we have shots, 13 them, 7 us, shots on target, 4 them, 2 us. I mean, I guess we were efficient. 2 shots on goal, 1 goal.
It's a 50% conversion.
Well, coming into this game, we knew that Austin is not efficient.
Yeah.
So that number is not surprising for Austin.
Sometimes if you just pepper the goal, something will happen. Possession stats, 65 them, 35 us. That's mostly second half because I think we actually did really well in the first half.
That's also
I think we had like 70,
game, right?
Yeah, I think we had 70% possession in the first half, which is insane considering how little they were attacking.
Yeah. And then passing, which, I didn't realize this. That's how they actually accrue possession percentage is how many passes you have.
That's interesting. I didn't know
it's
that.
really weird. It's not like how long you hold the ball.
Definitely feeds in an eco ball, that's for sure.
Exactly. So even if you're just having the ball back there passing between the center backs, you have possession, even if you're not doing anything. It's the weirdest thing. Fouls, 3 fouls for them, 14. Wow, we committed 14 fouls.
That doesn't seem right to me.
That seems like the right number. We were getting whistled all over the place.
I definitely believe we fouled them that many times. I just am surprised that it was only 3 against us.
Yeah, like 3 to 14.
That's not the comment on the game or anything. I just like didn't feel that way. I think they even mentioned that in the post-game show. They're like, yeah, that's a weird one.
Who's the referee again? Because we might have to investigate that guy.
Did he show up to the game wearing? Did he show up to the game with his family wearing Austin FC gear? Because that. Oh no, that's a different guy.
That's a different guy. Yeah. Guy. We're gonna investigate him to see how that goes.
Different guy.
But yeah, I mean, just overall, this game was this is why we don't take this seriously as a rival. When you go to Houston, you feel the hatred. It's there. When you go to Austin, it's like.
I was walking around the city wearing FC Dallas gear from Thursday to Sunday. Nobody, not a single person even like said anything. Saw one dude out on the lake rocking an older Austin jersey, gave him the business, and he was acting like he didn't even know what I was talking about, like he didn't even know they were playing. I was at Austin Beer Works. Shout out Austin Beer Works. Had a great time there. There was obviously, a ton of Austin fans there too. A bunch of Dallas fans were down there hanging out. A couple of Guardians popped up, had a good time. But there was a crew at the bar that as I was on my way to the restroom, like, oh, is there a game today? It's like, dude, look around.
Yeah, it's unfortunately that they because I had a couple of people. I had a couple of people from Weatherford not Weatherford. What's the city? Georgetown. My brain hurts. From Georgetown, that's the other thing. I consumed entirely too much alcohol. So
facts.
Yeah. But yeah, from Georgetown, I had some people come down, and they sell the game out. They get good attendance. I see a lot of green down there, right? Which is in that case is a lot of green for them. But this is what I mean. As an aside, this is why I think they should, and they probably will stop the rivalry week nonsense. Is because a lot of this stuff. Where you actually have natural rivals like us and Chicago, that's a natural rival because we were one of the original. Because of distance, we don't consider it a rivalry. But a city, just because you're close to a city, doesn't necessarily mean that you have that kind of hate. What I was going to say. So
I think to your point about in quotes a natural rivalry, like that was I think what a lot of FC Dallas fans reacted against with this Austin FC stuff was that the rivalry was shoved down our throats. It was like, hey, man, they're 3.5 hours away. Both teams are going to travel a lot. Let it become a rivalry on its own, and it will be so much more than this thing that MLS tried to invent.
I'll say that, while this is a new rivalry, if you will, I know some of the backstory. I know, Austin shouldn't even probably have an MLS team, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
And it's hard to put that on the fans.
Right. And a lot of this is forced to a certain extent, but rivalries do have to start somewhere. I will say, though, there have been some great games. There have been some great moments in this rivalry, but there have not been big meaningful games, right? There haven't been massive playoff matches between these clubs yet. There hasn't been, a potential conference championship between these teams yet. There hasn't been not in meaningful ways that have really been memorable.
What about the semifinal in the playoffs?
Okay.
This is what I mean, is that we just don't, even when it happens, we don't care, is the point we're going by.
There just haven't been enough meaningful games, I think, for this to be a real rivalry. That being said, I do think Copa Tejas is a cool little prize, right? It's a cool little thing. It's not the biggest thing. It's not the Cannon. It's not El Capitan. It's not even the Brimstone Cup. It's a cool thing to have, and I think it's a cool little rivalry between the three teams, and something that we can do in state. Much like the only thing that's maybe missing is a sponsorship from Buc-ee's.
I think my concern with Copa is, speaking to someone who represents us in that group, it is kind of anticlimactic for every team involved when we have a tie and the team that wasn't involved won it.
Right.
That's not great for a trophy.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think, Hey, I want to help Dennis cope because I feel like that whole rant he felt like he's heard that before. Like it's not the biggest thing, but it does the job. I feel like he's heard that before
all the time, my whole life.
Yeah,
Been hearing that my entire life. It's fine.
What a
It's
guy.
fine. I'm used to it.
We love you anyway. So 1-1.
It's not the size of the boat.
It's the motion in the ocean. No, trust me.
But you can fit more people on a bigger boat.
But also, Dennis was on a lake, not the ocean. So
exactly.
So 1-1 Austin FC Dallas. As far as positioning go, we don't move. We're in the same spot. We're tied with Dynamo, but we're ahead in goal difference.
Annoying little spot to be in.
Yeah, as long as we're above the Dynamo, that's a good year for us, basically. Because always, fuck Houston. Next
fuck
game,
Houston. Real quick before we move on to the next game, just one point. And this is kind of really disappointing for me as a supporter. I think the most disappointing thing about this season so far, and there have been many, is we had an opportunity at the very start of our home season to be for the first time in possession of all three supporter trophies, right? There was we had an opportunity and we were mere minutes away from it happening, right? Where we could have had Brimstone, El Capitan, and Copateas in our possession for at least a good chunk of this season. And since then, we now have zero. Technically, El Capitan's still in our possession because we could meet in the playoffs, but that we know that's not happening. So we lost all three supporter trophies essentially this season. And obviously we didn't lose Brimstone. We didn't have it, but we lost the opportunity to win it. I just think that kind of sucks. And I hope next year Coach Quill or whoever's coaching this team makes a conscious effort to be mindful of that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating, especially given that even on our worst years, for some reason, we kept winning El Capitan and Copateas.
I mean, it's the first time it's leaving in like 5 years, right?
Yeah. It's shocking that on our worst years, we somehow still win these. So it is a bit of a break in tradition on that. At this point, my goal is I don't want to lose at home to Austin because they've never beat us in Frisco. So
yeah, that's all we got left.
Just in case any other fans are listening from Austin or Houston, we are the Texas Originals and we are the Kings of Texas, and there's absolutely nothing you can do to change that.
We wore green first, and we wore it better.
That's a fact. I still like the baby blue Ranger kit that we did a couple years back. That's still
Houston claims that we stole baby blue from them every time I wear that kit. So
and what color is the Texas flag, folks?
Red, white, and blue, unless it's in distress. Wait, that's wrong.
Blue, white, and red? No.
Yeah, whatever.
Then it's just
hey, no. Unless you're an FC Dallas drone show, it's the same colors, but you flip them.
So I think what they were actually going for was the Indonesian flag. There was.
There we go.
No, they were going for the Chilean flag, which is the exact same.
Do we want to talk about the handball shout that everyone in Dallas is yelling about?
I mean, sure, it's a handball. There's really not anything to discuss. I don't know what the refs were looking at. His hand was away from his body, and it stopped
back and away from his body,
and it stopped
back into the left. Back into the left.
Okay,
did we just get Kennedy?
Oh my God. There was definitely a grassy knoll. See the green. You see, I tied it in.
It's perfect.
Yeah, he stopped. Sebi was right behind him. If that ball had come to him, he could have granted, he would have fucked it up in some way possible, but it was an opportunity for him to either cross the ball or kick it towards goal. But it was him, so there's no guarantee of that.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring up that Apple TV didn't include that in the highlight package.
Why would they? Why would they lean into any sort of anything that the supporters give a shit about? Why would Apple TV?
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Marcus. Sorry.
Yeah, guys, I do have to remind people we went almost 3 years without a penalty, and then we got one last year. So it's not a thing that happens for us. So if you think, some great teams are good. You have good players, you perform well, but it also is an element of luck that FC Dallas has never had.
No, you're absolutely right.
Unfortunately, that's the thing. Yeah,
call it home field advantage if you want.
So fair enough. A little bit of home cooking, right? You get a little extra whistle. Pause.
Statistically, it's real. So
yeah, but here's the thing. So the only way you don't call that is if the ball. Yes, there we go. I'm going to clip that again. That was actually a good performing short for us. The only way that's not a handball is if the distance between the person kicking the ball and the opponent is too close. That wasn't the case. There was no one around him. He had an opportunity to not do that. The ball was behind him. He reached behind him, hit him. Even look on his face was it's a penalty. The only thing I can say, again, it's a little bit of home cooking. Whatever green chili he had before the game, he really enjoyed it. So we'll keep it moving. We're going to talk about...
Not much to discuss. You're right.
Speaking of spicy.
we're gonna move to our next game here in back home at Toyota Stadium. I'm gonna admit a thing to you guys. I had no idea Son was gonna be as big as he is. He is a traveling.
Dude, the kids are big Sonny fans. The kids love Sonny.
He's moving units. He's not moving Messi units, but he's moving units.
Crazy to be in the conversation, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, like Jersey's top 5 already. It's gonna be crazy. So we play LAFC on the 23rd. Come join us for at the Red Lot for our usual tailgates. What were you gonna say, Dennis?
I will say that jersey with his name actually in Korean slaps. Like
it looks sick.
I don't really buy, like I don't buy other MLS club jerseys, but that might be on the list at some point. That is a dope jersey with it in Korean. That is really cool, especially the black with the gold lettering. It's a cool jersey, right? It's just a cool shirt.
Don't worry, guys. Go to Soccer 90 in the stadium, and you might be able to find it.
I'm sure they have it printed for you already.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah,
but ask them for a Burn Authentic. They don't have those. Completely out, and might not be getting more.
Yeah. So we're gonna play LAFC. They're now 5th with 40 points, and we're obviously 11th. So they're a bogey team for us. Which, to be honest, who isn't a bogey team for us, really?
Although we have had some fun games against LAFC.
Yeah, always.
On better years, at least.
Yeah, here's the thing. We're one of those really annoying Everton type teams where we play up to our competition and down to our competition, and that's really frustrating, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, if you talk to the Galaxy fans, one of the things that triggers them so hard is that we could be having the worst season of all time, and they could be like on track to win everything, and they're always going to lose to us for some reason.
Oh, most definitely.
It's crazy.
But no, the reason I mentioned this is I didn't know that Sonny was this popular. So I'm at work. I work overnight, right? So for all who don't know, my boss, who I forgot was Korean, sent me a private EM on my computer. I think I'm in trouble. He's like, "Hey, how's your evening going?" I think I fucked up something. I thought I lost the package. It's whatever it is. He's like, "Hey, so you're an FC Dallas supporter, right?" I'm like, "Wait, what's going on here?" He's like, "Yeah, can you get me tickets?" And I'm like, "Oh, damn, I really didn't know." He's not a soccer fan, guys, just so we're clear about this.
Yeah.
But he wanted me to find him 4 tickets. And this is, proving again the point we've already made. I've said for 2 or 3 years now that FC Dallas needs to, if we wanted to move the needle and fill the stadium, it wasn't to go get South American, because we weren't going to spend the money to get the right South American.
Right.
So you might as well go the other direction. I'm looking forward to this game. I know you guys are probably going to head to, once we move over to that segment, y'all going to head to Trinity, but I think this will be a fun game.
Yeah.
Where our form is changing. So I think, as Dennis mentioned last episode, I think this is one of those decisions with the Lucho trade that the locker room is up. You can see the guys are having more fun. The problem is the quality of the player is still the quality of the player, especially on
you're absolutely right.
So I don't know if it changes much of anything, but I look forward to seeing you guys, everyone who shows out. You can come meet my boss and tell him not to fire me. That'd be great.
And by the way, Marcus, you texted me asking about my tickets. You got me like 10 minutes after I'd gotten rid of mine. Like, you barely missed my tickets. Yeah.
Mine are currently listed for an absurd amount right now. Yes. I'm trying to get as much money as I'm trying to just pay for next season. That's all. I'm just trying to make enough to cover my my Trinity tickets this season. That's all.
Well, that's not going to cost much.
That's what I'm going for. But tailgate menu is not completely finalized yet. I'm still working on making sure that it is all coordinated, even though I won't be up there. But it sounds like we might be doing a little bebop. So a little Korean action, little.
Let's go.
Little Korean action for our Korean, in case we get any Korean visitors. We might Texas it up though with a little brisket instead of your traditionals. Instead of the pork, we might do a little. Instead of Korean style pork, we might do a little brisket in there and mix it up a little bit. Maybe do a little pulled pork. Maybe do. I don't know. Depends upon what HEB's got on sale. We will find out. Shout out Charlie. Charlie's cooking this week. That's always a good time. We love Matt too. Matt's a great cook as well. But we're going to have a little fun with it. And so these guys are going to be kicking some ass. And look, it's going to be a fun game no matter what. Tailgate's going to be a great time no matter what, right? I'm not really hopeful that this team is going to do much. I'm pretty sure LA is going to come in and kick the shit out of us. And I really don't want to have to see Nicosa Tafara in a different color jersey in Frisco. That's really going to break my fucking heart, honestly.
Dennis, were you here when we traded Ryan Hollingshead?
Yes. I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't
So
really involved.
experience...
I wasn't involved, but yeah, I was around. I'm aware of it. I was around for it. And
so you did experience a heartbreak, though, of one of our beloved players of all time.
I was relatively new here. I it wasn't ingrained in me as much as as this is.
Because me and Marcus probably both cried in the bathroom afterwards.
I mean,
I believe it.
I would have cried, but I didn't want to hear the whole story about him stopping on an overpass for the umpteenth time.
Yeah, right.
So love the kid, but he was going home. That's the thing.
I mean, good for him at that point, but he was so blindsided, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
because you heard the Marco interview that they did on the podcast for
the Agenda Pod.
Yeah.
Shout out FC Dallas.
He
Agenda.
was talking about also how random and unexpected that deal was.
Yeah,
like they were as blindsided over there as we were over here. Crazy stuff.
And look, I know part of it was Kaz had some family obligations and things that he just wanted to be closer to I think it was his girl or whatever else that she had a burgeoning model career out there. Look, every decisions are made, but look, I like Kaz as a dude. He comes from where I come from. He went to the same high school as a couple of my cousins. Like I like Kaz. I think he's just a good dude.
Two things. You're calling him Kaz?
Coast.
Am I hearing things?
Yeah. It's my accent. Coast,
okay, maybe the next one is, hey, maybe he'll follow in Ryan Hollingshead's shoes and get an early red card and do us a favor.
Yeah, that'd be great too.
I don't want to get clowned by Nkosi Tafari.
I don't, and I really don't.
He's so good at it.
I don't want to see him score a header. As much as I do, I really don't want to see him score a header and like the go ahead, and like that's what's going to happen. And either that or Son's going to come out and just sun us, and I'm not here for it. So
I think I'd rather just get trashed by Son and just call it.
Yeah, but like Marcus said,
I saw a Son hat trick in Frisco. Like,
Hubert and I will be heading down to the south end of town, and we'll be over at Fair Park this Saturday.
The south end of town. I think you just mean town.
Yeah, you just mean. I mean,
south of the Metroplex.
You're right.
No. It is south of 30, which is what they consider downtown. So it is south of downtown. But yeah, So for all anyone who's not joining us up in Frisco. Home opener, August 23rd, the second season of the USL Super League.
The Gainbridge USL Super League.
Gainbridge, that's it. Yeah,
sorry, Gainbridge Super League. Property.
That does not roll off the tongue.
No, it doesn't.
I'm here with all the proper names, and I will make sure that we get all of our media plugs in properly.
Yeah.
I'm the only one here with media training. It's okay.
So apparently, post-game fireworks and free magnet calendar. So I expect you guys to collect one of those for me for sure.
Fireworks or the calendars?
Fireworks are drone.
You're gonna walk out with a Class A explosive.
It's fine. The ATF doesn't count. So yeah,
not in Texas.
Yeah. Go to DallasTrinity.com if you haven't gotten your tickets. Trust me that it's a big place. They got tickets for you. So go ahead and
plenty of tickets left. Supporter section tickets, I believe, are what, $35?
Yeah, $300 for the season. I think 30.
It's either 30 or 35 for a game, but it's like $300 plus tax for the season.
And by the way, the season tickets all include parking this year.
Nice. I didn't know that. That's even better. Yeah. That's like $25 a game you're saving right there.
Well, it's going to be a lot cheaper too to park this year, but at the same time, it's nice to have parking included. That's standard across the sport. So.
And if you are parking in the lot where they typically put us, we'll be over by the what's the name of that building over there that they use?
Is it the Coliseum?
It is. It is the Coliseum. We're over at the Coliseum building where they run a lot of the
basketball.
I think that's where they run some of the pageant shows during the fair.
Right? I have no idea.
I don't know. It's a big building over there where they usually put us. That's where our tailgate should be set up. But I don't know if you know more about this. Since last time we spoke, we really haven't spoken. But Community was on the verge of closing the deal and being the tailgate sponsor over there as well.
Well, first off, if you're parking in the regular parking, you're going to walk by our tailgate. So it's as simple as that. As far as I'm aware, we should have community beer.
Nice.
Which is exciting. I don't really know any details about any actual sponsorship or anything like that, but as far as I'm aware, we should have community beer. And from what I understand, we might have food at a lot of the tailgates this year, which would be nice. The team's trying to make a really big effort to like actually get some local partners out there to maybe get some food out, which has been really, really cool. Just to see them making that effort. But yeah, the big story here is, it's the home opener. We got some new players to see. We don't know who's going to be our starting keeper yet.
I'm leaning towards Riley. I'm leaning towards Riley being our.
Well, after I find out that Riley's a big coffee nerd, of course I'm leaning Riley now.
I know. I saw that. That's incredible.
Yeah. And by the way, shout out to Pegasus post match. If you want to have a really good detailed season preview, it's worth a listen to. Pegasus post game. Jesse and boy, I'm blanking on his buddy's name. Senor Queso on Instagram. Do a post game show every single game. Covering the game, and they do some really good covers. They have guests on there. I've been there once or twice, so not always a great guest, but yeah, come back to the tailgate. There'll be free beer, hopefully free food. We'll have some music jam. We'll have a drum. Come bring a kid. Come hit the drum. We're gonna get in the stadium. We're gonna get loud. We're excited for the second season. We're hopefully gonna be revealing a banner that we've printed to have up all year.
Nice.
Yep, banner should be there. We got some extra clips and things of that nature for flags that should be ordered. So we should have a few flags up across the section. We should have a nice banner across the front of the section. Should be pretty cool. It's a great atmosphere, right? So it's a little bit more toned down. It's a little bit low key. A little bit more family friendly. At least Hubert and I are a little bit more family friendly here than we are even on this podcast. But yeah, definitely go check out Pegasus Post Match Pod. They're available on Spotify as well. Hubert did a great interview there. I actually listened to the majority of that on my drive down to Austin. So shout out to those guys. They're having a lot of fun too.
Yeah, come join the Stampede this year as the
Stampede. I like that.
Ooh, I like the Stampede. Let's go. That's better than the stuff I've been pushing.
I'm getting a little better at this transition stuff here. But yeah, if you guys you want to come join Hubert and Dennis at the tailgate, if you guys can take some video for me for the YouTubes, we're trying to get some content out. If they're doing a walking or anything like that, we'd appreciate it. So as we found out, I gave Dennis a layup last week, mostly because I want him to break the news instead of me. But we talked last episode about whether or not Trinity would have a shirt sponsor, and literally the day we posted the podcast, it was announced that they have dual sponsors. I'm assuming these are the same company, right? Just different branding. So we have Scottish Rite for Children and UT Southwestern Medical Center as this year's home and away. I'm guessing it's per jersey, right?
I don't know that.
Yeah, I think it's. I would assume it's going to be much like what we see with FC Dallas, where they're obligated to wear each jersey a certain amount of times at home. So I would expect to see, might see the road jersey a little bit more than the home jersey at some point this year, right? Because they're going to wear the road jersey on the road most of the time, and then they might be obligated to wear it at home a few games as well, depending upon what the contract is. I would assume it's similar with what Southwestern does with FC Dallas, right? Where we have to wear Children's Health X amount of times, and we have to wear UT Southwestern X amount of times. Although these jerseys look great without a sponsor, in my opinion, but these are not bad sponsors. These look very clean. I like it. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, are we seeing on the gold jersey, you can kind of see the Gamebridge Super League patch? I hadn't seen that yet.
Yep, you got the Gamebridge Super League patch, and then you've got Run River Run, which I believe is our statement for this upcoming season, at least.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, shout out to the Trinity River that doesn't run very often. So
up the river.
Yeah.
I think of the Charlie Crockett song, the Trinity River, such a dirty little river.
Most definitely, indeed. So yeah, come join. Like I said, DallasTrinity.com for tickets. It's at the actual. Shout out again to the Texoma, the actual historic. Stadium in the Cotton Bowl. Beautiful stadium.
The birthing place of Dallas soccer teams for some reason.
Most definitely.
So let's go.
And if you are looking for some great post-match content outside of the Pegasus post-match pod, if you're looking for some written content, please after the game next morning, please give me till the next morning. But our good friends over at Third Degree, the podcast, and thirddegree.net will have a new writer this season for post-match reporting. Anybody want to guess who that is?
I have no idea.
Is it Marcus?
Not Marcus.
Definitely won't
It's not
be
Marcus.
me.
Definitely not Marcus.
Yeah.
All right, Dennis, you want me to say it? It's Dennis.
It is. Thank you. I
Dennis.
wanted somebody else to say it. Yeah, I'll be doing a little bit of writing for thirddegree.net this season. Just some simple game recaps. Throw a little supporter flair on it, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to really dive into that. But
and that's for Trinity.
That is for Trinity. Yeah.
Dope. Okay. I'll read Third Degree even less now. Just kidding. Yeah. So
even wearing the shirt, guys.
Oh my
Employee
God.
of the month right there. Employee of the month.
Corporate over here.
I'm telling you. All right. So this is what I'm hearing is we're going to announce a joint pod here soon because we have.
Those guys are welcome anytime.
Yeah. Are you allowed to be on our pod right now?
I have no contracts, guys.
I'm sorry.
No contracts.
Let me get him off the screen right quick. Remove.
I don't get paid for any of this, by the way.
I know. Trust me. This is all for the love of the game. So
Not
we're going to go.
exposure?
No. So that's it for Dallas Trinity. Now we're going to head to my favorite segment. It's really the only one I produce and care about anyway, but love you guys. We're going to go to Around the Ground. So we're going to start close to home and then go further away as we go.
Around the ground, Marcus with a frown.
Basically. Me,
Let's
never
go.
happy. So shout out to, they just got a slight shot there, Texoma. I saw this on Reddit. They're announcing that they have official supporters group. So that's pretty dope to them. I think I talked to the guy on Reddit, so I'm going to try to get him on the pod here soon so we can discuss their first season, and I hope for many more seasons with them up at the historic Bobcat Stadium. And I'm just going to say that.
I do hope that this gets off the ground because obviously off the ground. Good one. It wasn't, but it is. Never mind. Marcus, edit that out. It wasn't.
Yeah, totally. On purpose.
I do think they really they can benefit from an atmosphere up there. Last time I was up there, the atmosphere was me arguing with the assistant ref for 45 minutes. So
is
nobody
that
wants
not what soccer is?
Yeah, pretty much. That's Sunday league at its best, right there. For sure.
Exactly, that's exactly what it was. But it was a Saturday night, so there's that. Fun fact, though, this is going to not be the only supporter group named Flight Crew in USL. South Georgia Tormenta has a supporter club called the Flight Crew as well.
Yeah, I mean any.
Well, this is a Mockingbird, so it works.
Yeah, any team with a bird. So technically, Madison forward could be the Flight Crew. Flamingos don't fly. No, they do fly.
Yeah, they do fly.
Yeah, never mind.
It's penguins that don't fly. It's penguins and chickens.
And ostriches and yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so shout out to these guys. Yeah, what were you gonna say,
Marcus? Have you been out to one of their games yet?
No, I had not. So it's on my list for sure.
Yeah, I might be going Wednesday for my first one. So
nice. I know there was some talk about maybe doing a doubleheader at some point when we've got an afternoon.
October.
Okay.
In October, yeah.
Keep that in mind. There's what?
I'll give you the exact date in a minute.
I believe. What is it? Texoma plays the afternoon and Dallas plays at night, or is it vice versa?
The other way. It's flipped.
Okay. Yeah. So that check us out. Check out our socials. We'll post more about that once we've got that confirmed. But that'll be fun. Do a little
October 4th. FC Dallas, I believe, plays at 3:30, and Texoma plays at 7.
Double header. Start in southern Oklahoma and work your way up into southern Oklahoma.
Pretty much. You also have to pace your drinking for that trip, but we'll make it work
because there is no train.
Fair enough. Well, no, you can take Amtrak from Dallas to Oklahoma City. It just doesn't run on this route. But yeah, I just wanted to say shout out to these guys. That's pretty dope. Yeah. I always find it funny. The established thing to me should only be on things that are old. So when you start a new organization, guys, do not put the year on there. Okay,
look,
just a little hit from me.
Since we've been hating on Austin all game, the fact that like year 2 they had that Austin Legends tifo.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay.
It was all Austin Bowl players at that point, but yeah. So the next thing we're going to talk about is we talked about the Heat earlier, so we're going to talk about how maybe the Gainsbridge Super League, there was some discussion about why they decided to start their inaugural season with a fall-spring schedule. I personally think it's a test run for when the men's professional leagues also go to that switch, proving that the weather really isn't as much of a holdback as people point out to be. So this was it Saturday? The NWSL wanted wanted the game on Big Boy at CBS in prime time, and well, not prime time, 4 p.m. because that's apparently CBS. That's their only soccer window because USL game also going to 4 p.m. for some reason.
Odd.
I don't know what it is because there's nothing really going on during the summer. So, but yeah, so wrong one. Remove next time production. So there was a 3-hour delay for this game for heat. It ended up being at game time. Wow. It was 94 degrees, which means on the field it was 110.
Yeah. Which means the ground was probably like 120 degrees on the ground.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be a 3 p.m. kickoff Eastern. 3 p.m. Central, so 4 p.m. Eastern. You know the calculation. They ended up delaying this for 3 hours, and obviously it ended up not being on Big Boy CBS. So, what do y'all think of the scheduling, summer scheduling? Because it seems that between this discussion and the Club World Cup, there's now some serious discussion about maybe playing soccer in the summer. Not a great idea.
Look, summer, winter, American weather is terrible, right? Especially in the Midwest and the center of the country, right? We have really extreme scenarios of heat. And then on the other end, driving snow, wind, ice. Pick your poison at this point, right? This sucks for the fans that were out there, right? There, a 3-hour delay for lightning and rain is one thing. You get under cover and hide in a stadium somewhere, drink some beers, hang out with your friends. When it's this hot, it's not great for anybody, right? You can't have a good time, right? You're trying to drink water, you're sweating it out. I mean, we deal with it in Frisco all the time for 7:30 kickoffs. It can be 100 plus inside that stadium this time of the year. So, go ahead.
From a perspective of just like medical stuff, the biggest killer weather-wise in this country is heat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nothing comes close to it.
Someone pointed out to me that they'd rather play in the winter because you can move to warm yourself up. There's absolutely nothing you can do to cool yourself off.
You can't take off more layers. Heat is the biggest killer, and as we're seeing, we don't even have to get into climate change or whatever, but that's where our biggest numbers that we're seeing any differences are, though, is people just dying heat death.
Yeah, look, even just at the Austin game this weekend, and look, I'm a Guardian, right? I've been drinking beer all day Saturday, right? I was out on a boat in the morning. I went to brunch. I was drinking beer all day. I was trying to swap in as many waters as I could, trying my best to stay hydrated. I woke up Sunday morning, my legs were cramped from just dehydration, right? Like I woke up with a Charlie horse that literally rolled me out of bed. I had to roll on the floor. Part of it's getting old too, but part of it's just being an old man. But that heat is just it's a kill. Like you said, it literally is a killer. And
yeah,
maybe we need to start to if we're not gonna move the schedule, maybe we need to start taking summer breaks. I don't know. But
do you think that part of the fear that people seem to have about switching to a fall start is that they're worried that we'll get less eyes on our soccer because of it running in tandem with European seasons?
Part of it.
Yeah. I think it's just something you're used to. Soccer is a summer sport in America, right? But
it's not high school. In high school, they play in the winter.
That's the thing. But here's the thing. Everyone's switching. The NCAA is about to do a long format for college soccer. USL already announced they're going to move. And MLS, all the new MLS owners who are foreign owners come here and be like, why the fuck are we playing in the summer? Right?
Yeah, right.
It's one of them things like everyone is pushing in the other direction. So at a certain point, I think we will. I think they missed the boat on doing it next year. Everyone already knows my thing. It's like, hey, you play Leagues Cup running up to the World Cup, and then you start your season, and then that's how you switch it.
The transition makes so much sense.
Yeah,
right there.
In my brain, I don't know how you do it any other way, because if you say in December the season ends, you're like, hey, we're not going to start playing again until the fall, and you go without soccer for that long. That's how you kill a brand. Yeah. So that's not going to happen. But yeah, I just thought this was good. This was interesting news. Like I said, couple this with the Club World Cup, all those players over here saying that the heat was unbearable. I know the Rose Bowl game, they almost canceled, but this is, it is what it is. They ended up not doing it.
And the Rose Bowl is, Southern California. It's hot, but it's not humid like it is in
It's
Texas.
not Houston.
Right. It's not Houston. It's not even Austin, right? Like LA is reasonable. Like when it's 100 degrees in LA, it's still not terrible, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the humidity is not there, but the UV index is up on a lot of these games, and it's not safe, and it's only a matter of time before somebody gets hurt, like significantly hurt.
So I just want to be an asshole and point out that there will be almost no games stopped in the Game Bridge Super League for winter weather, but somehow they stopped it for this one for the hotness. So, anyways, we're gonna move on to the next. I'm just a dick. Whenever I feel like I'm right about a point, I gotta point it in. So another thing, there was a lawsuit about this. So I know people really focus on the NASL lawsuit against U.S. Soccer. U.S. Soccer also filed a lawsuit against, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it was FIFA or the Spanish League in particular, against holding domestic La Liga games in the U.S. But they either lost, settled, or the money won. I'm going to guess all three of those things are all possible. But there's going to be a Barcelona Villarreal.
Wait, this isn't for sure happening yet, right?
Because no, it is.
I thought it was only approved by the league. It had to go a couple of steps further still.
So this was approved by everyone. However, the date is now in question because there was a Miami Dolphins game scheduled at the stadium.
Yeah, see, I thought it still had to go up to UEFA and FIFA. I thought this was
FIFA's already approved it. And fun fact, I just happened to see it right before we started this. I saw a post it was like Reddit random, and it was what is the most corrupt organization in the history of the world? And the number one response was FIFA.
Oh, that's not shocking.
The history of the world.
Okay, first of all, have we met the U.S. government? Never. So, yeah. This is the only country where, like, every 50 or so years, they release all their secrets, and you're like, oh, shit, all that stuff we thought was conspiracy theories ended up being real, and you're like...
Back and to the left.
Yeah, don't go watch Black Jesus or anything like that.
Yeah.
Back I remember and to the left.
All I can tell people is, like, MK Ultra is a myth until you actually read those documents. You're like, oh no, they really did try all that shit. That's crazy. Anyways, that's to say that FIFA is a non-profit, profitable organization that seeks more profit. So we'll just rock with that. But what are your thoughts in general about? Because the argument I saw a lot was, hey, if they allow this, basically there's going to be some Liga MX games that are going to draw here more than any MLS game, and they're going to do it with ease. So,
yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this. So, Hubert, I'll let you go first here.
I feel less worried about maybe Liga MX at least coming over every now and then, because at least they have real fans here, like a lot of them. That's a little different to me than even La Liga.
Wait. You think Barcelona doesn't have real fans here?
That's not even what I mean. I just mean, like, there's going to be a traveling contingent that, like, from Tigres, it's going to drive up from there for that.
Yeah.
And they're going to make it a thing, right? Like, it won't be that different from me wanting to drive up to Chicago for a game.
Yeah.
It's very different for me for it to be like Barcelona Villarreal. I mean, I think it's a cash grab, right? It always is. But my real thought here is I'm trying to decide if it's good or bad or just neutral, I guess, for the game in the US, right? I want to know how our soccer culture will benefit. And the best way I can think of is I remember when I was younger being excited to see these big European teams show up and play here. I am excited at the concept of having an actual competitive game here, not just these weird summer tournaments. But I don't know if that outweighs the very cynical cash grab and not caring about the players having to travel and all this stuff. Yeah.
I will, before Dennis runs off, I will say another benefit of the summer of MLS or North American leagues changing to fall spring is that it actually makes the summer tournaments work, because we don't have to stop our league in order for us to go play a bunch of nonsense friendlies. It would just be our preseason warm-ups would be their preseason warm-ups, and then it would work instead of mid-season like it is now. But yeah, Dennis, what thoughts? Barcelona, Villarreal.
You guys know I'm usually like Club World Cup was a cash grab, right? And I get that, but I was kind of a fan of it, and I was a defender of Club World Cup. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a cool concept. We talk about things like forced rivalries between Dallas and Austin and how that's sort of a cash grab for, trying to create these fake things and whatever is fun. And as long as it's fun, I'm usually okay with it. I'm really not about this at all. this to me is a slippery slope to, first off, Liga MX coming up here and just completely eating our lunch, especially in, places like Texas and New Mexico and things like that. What's at this rate, what is to stop Chivas or Club America to build a stadium in El Paso and play half their season in El Paso, right? What's to stop that? And who does that
That's
hurt?
already happened and failed, just for the record. But yeah, go ahead.
But who's to stop that from happening now? And who that really hurts is, that's going to hurt New Mexico United. That's going to hurt El Paso Locomotive. And I think things like this are going to, and the slippery slope is, we've got this is La Liga. What happens when League One wants to come in and do a series of games here? What happens when the championship wants to come and do a series of game here? That dilutes the American product, and it is pulling eyes and dollars. There was only so many soccer dollars in America, believe it or not. As much as everybody going to buy a USL club right now believes, there is a limited finite amount of soccer dollars in America, just like there is a limited finite amount of sports dollars in America. And I think this is going to severely dilute the American product if we let this continue on and go down this slippery slope. I think we are going to be in a world where our product is diluted because people would much rather go see Barcelona Villarreal. They would much rather go see PSG play Lyon. They would much rather go see Wrexham play, I don't know, somebody give me another championship team. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Right?
Derby. Is Derby in it still? I don't know.
No,
right.
They're League One, but yeah.
Oh, no.
That's how that's how a system's supposed to work. You're not supposed to know who's in the league from year to year. So who knows?
But what's when you start, and again, this is one game. This is not going to ruin the world. But what happens when you continue to allow that to happen? And we have got a fall. And let's for the sake of argument, Marcus, let's say we move the MLS season to a fall spring calendar, right? And we're running up against the same schedule, right? And now we've got La Liga games here. We've got EPL games in here, or at least championship games here. We've got League One games in here. We've got Bundesliga games here. We've got Liga MX games here. And every weekend you can go see a monster global club anywhere in this country. Why the fuck would I go see Austin FC? Why the fuck would I go see El Paso Locomotive? Why would I go see Forward Madison when I can drive down to Milwaukee and go watch a Bundesliga game, right? It's going to dilute our product, and I think it's very, very bad for the overall development of soccer in America, which is still has not reached what it should, right? That it's still the 5th, 6th, 7th sport in a lot of these markets, right? So you're just diluting that product, and I don't think it's good for anybody involved on the state side of the game, regardless of how you feel as a fan, which I think those fans over there are rightfully justified as well, right? And I know those supporters are really hot about it, and I agree with them. I wouldn't want our league games being played anywhere else either. Would you guys want to go see FC Dallas play? Right? Would you guys want to go see FC Dallas versus Houston in Mexico City? Like, I wouldn't want to give up a home game for that.
Okay. Are you good? You good cooking?
I'm good. I'm done.
I
rant
think
over. Rant over.
First off, slippery slopes aren't a thing. That is a logical fallacy.
But this opens the door to really a lot of those things because you're dealing with case law.
Let me finish my sentence.
Okay.
You're setting a precedent. That's what it is. That's what we need to be worried about. Setting the precedent of how to do this right if you're going to do it. I'm not personally for them doing this, but if you're going to like gum it up and make it happen, because they're already trying to eliminate competition anyways. You saw them all hop onto this Super League idea, right? Like they clearly just want to control the market anyways. And I don't think they really give a shit about us as fans or even their fans. They just want to go wherever they're going to get the most money.
Right.
And for that reason, I'm worried that even if they try to figure out a way for this to make sense, they're just going to keep doing it and make it worse every time. Like Real Madrid was against them doing this only because it wasn't them getting the money.
Well, no, they wanted the El Clasico here, and they're like, that's never going to happen. I don't even think the Spanish league would allow that.
That would be crazy.
I'm gonna go on my little rant here, mostly because I love when I'm right. Here's the thing: we all knew slippery slopes actually do exist, right? The Super League was a slippery slope, and they're just etching away around the circle in order to get the goal they want.
They do not exist. The illusion exists as a bias.
Sure, fair enough. It's one. All right. So there's an old quote. They said they came for X group, and I said nothing, and then blah blah blah. You know the phrase I'm going for here, right?
Yeah.
That's what I refer to as a slippery slope. Everyone's against a thing everyone's for. They're for the bad guys doing the bad things to bad people until they realize that eventually someone's going to see them as a bad person. That's what I mean by slippery slope. In this instance, we all knew this was going to happen. I get Dennis's point, like, hey, this is going to affect. All right, so I disagree on one point. I don't think there's finite soccer dollars in this country, right?
Dennis, you meant like entertainment dollars?
No. He means that there's certain amount of money that will go to professional soccer, and it's a small pie, therefore it can't grow. I don't actually think that's true. And every time a team like his point, so there's a finite amount of dollars for soccer in Miami, but that doesn't mean Boise can't build a 10,000 seat stadium and sell it out every game. That's soccer dollars that no one was touching before because no one was going to play in Boise, Idaho. So this is what I mean by there's not necessarily a finite amount. And there's zero chance of these big clubs coming here and going to El Paso, for instance, right? They're going to go to LA, they're going to go to Miami, and they're going to go to New York. We already know the markets they're going to. So the people, the thing that this hurts is MLS, which is why U.S. Soccer sued, because U.S. Soccer doesn't necessarily have a dog in this hunt other than the fact that it affects Major League Soccer. And we both know when Major League Soccer says jump, U.S. Soccer says how high. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Tail wags the dog.
Yeah, right.
Is what that called. Since we're talking about logical arguments.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this sucks. It shouldn't happen. There is no way. Let's say the Sun's here now. All right, Sunny Boy's here now in LAFC. Let's say LAFC and the Galaxy want to go play a derby in Tottenham Stadium. Do you think the Federation, the FA, would allow that? They would tell them to kick every rock in the building and leave here as soon as possible.
Sand.
Laugh them out of the country.
Exactly. So I don't know. I am. When people say and we're going to wrap this up really quickly. When people say the U.S. soccer market has not matured, this is the example they use. We are not a serious organization. They don't realize every other country in the world, mature country in the world, uses the U.S. market as a piggy bank. They do not care about growing the game. All these mini Barcelona youth academy dreams that they sell these kids that pay upwards of $3,000 because eventually you might travel and play a game in Barcelona. They're never going to sign you. There's never been an instance of any kid going to a Barcelona academy and being signed to the Barcelona first or second team, right? But they sell you that dream and they pump money out of the system. So right now, USL Youth and USL Academy, MLS Next, and the USL Soccer or USL Youth Soccer Association are negotiating on how they can combine. And every one of these mini human beings who are fighting for their own fiefdom are not realizing that if you don't combine to get these kids into your system so that money and talent can stay here, all you're doing is allowing. Barcelona's a big youth system here, and I can't remember what's the German club that wears yellow and black. I can't remember them. Dortmund. All they do is they siphon off the money, and none of these kids actually end up in those systems. But I think we're all in agreement here.
Yeah,
money grabs are bad, and you don't get to select which money grabs are bad.
And they're bad for our soccer culture.
Yes. Well, let us know what you think in the comments. Respond to us on social media at Dallas Guardians.
Hold on.
X.
One more thing. I want to shout out my boys in Detroit. This
looks good, baby. It looks good.
Brand new stadium.
Yeah.
So shout out to those guys. Looking forward to going to a game here, privately quotation mark funded stadium. Looking forward to this. And next week we'll have news on Sacramento Stadium. But I just want to shout out to those guys up there. But yeah, so we're Dallas Guardians on everything. Like, share, and subscribe. We look forward to seeing you guys either at the Cotton Bowl or Toyota Stadium here on August 23rd. Come join me at the tailgate. We will have fresh beer, non-foamy beer, which is the important thing.
We got the kegs fixed. Awesome. Like, share, subscribe at Dallas Guardians on X, on Meta, on Facebook, on Threads, on Instagram, on what are we on right now? We're on YouTube, right? You can find us on YouTube. If you're listening to the audio version only of this, we're on Spotify. We're on Amazon Music. Come Come find us wherever you are. Thank you. If you've made it this far, you are a true sicko. Thank you for staying through all of our true sicko shit talk here. Around the Grounds is our favorite part, but we put it at the end because we know you really love it. Shout out to all of our listeners. Shout out to our friends over at Copa Tejas. Shout out to our friends at Austin Beer Works. Shout out to our sponsor, Community Beer. Shout out to HEB. Shout out to Chef Matt, Chef Charlie, all the guys that make this our tailgates incredible and make them what they are. And shout out to these two guys right here. Guardians out.